Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Legal Lounge brought to you by Denning Legal Clinic. Today we have with us Advocate General Sindh and Chairman Sindh Bar Council, Mr. Muhammad Hassan Akbar, who has also the experience of serving as the Prosecutor General Accountability at NAB headquarters in Islamabad. Assalamu alaikum, sir. We are very honored to have you as our guest today.
Thank you.
On the legal lounge. We are also, as the law students, we have a lot of respect for you and personalities like you who have shined in this noble profession. So, sir, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Thank you. Thank you for including this office in your project. And it's an honor for us, and it's a voice which also we wanted to convey to the public and the general masses. So thank you for...
It's our pleasure. It's a pleasure. Next, sir, first I would ask you the question that what inspired you to pursue this career, and how your education led you to pursue this career?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you. My career, agar aap usko lenge, to it will be a source of inspiration for a number of students.
Yeah.
Abhi aapko batata hu why I'm saying this. Number one, I actually never studied in a English medium school. The primary education I got was a school of a trust known as Ghulam Abbas School, and it was at the fag end of our city in the Machar colony.
Okay.
And I studied there for 10 years, and it was a full day school from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m.
Okay.
And when I then matriculated, then I went to DJ Science College. I got admission, but unfortunately, in the middle of the first year, my father died, and he was the sole bread earner. So then I had to look after his small business, and I had to leave my studies. And while sitting, looking after his business, I had to study as a private student in the first year, then in the second year, then I did my BCom Part 1, Part 2 privately. Then I did my Masters in International Relations also sort of privately because I was not able to attend colleges. And then I joined law profession, but I was not able, then I joined the law college, but I was not able to attend colleges. So practically I'm one of those who never had the luxury of attending a college.
Okay.
And then जब LLB start किया हमने तो once a week एक class पे मुश्किल से chance मिलता था attend करने का, और इस तरह से every week one class maybe इस तरह होते होते then I did my LLB. I was fond of studying actually. तो इसलिए then I was looking after one after the other degrees, और जब Masters in International Relations किया, then I was blank that what can I study now as a private student. So I was blank and I lost 1 year. Then उसके बाद जब LLB किया तो फिर then I started in SM Law College, और once a week एक class या twice a week एक class attend करने का मौका मिला. And then I graduated from there, law degree मिली, और उसके बाद then I joined Mr. Muhammad Ali Abbasi. He was my first senior for 1 year. Then I worked with Mr. Munir Ahmed Malik, the famous lawyers movement के जो leader रहे हैं. Then after that I have assisted Mr. Khalid Anwar, जहाँ पर Mr. Justice Maqbool Bakar and Mr. Justice Munib Akhtar were already there as senior counsels. वो मुझे chance मिला. Then after that I started my working with Mr. Faisal Arab. उनके साथ जस्टिस जो later on सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज हुए माशाल्लाह. And then during Mr. Faisal Arab's tenure as his junior counsel, फिर मैंने I had the opportunity of assisting Mr. Qazi Faiz Isa when he was a lawyer. उनके साथ काम किया मैंने. Then again Faisal Arab साहब के साथ फिर से उन्होंने मुझे offer की. Then I again joined Mr. Faisal साहब, and finally then I got my own practice, and practice में अपनी independent parallel कर ही रहा था शुरू से since 95. But after this I never joined a senior. अच्छा, then एक दो केसेस में जस्टिस सलीम अख्तर, a legend, in our judicial hierarchy.
Yes.
वो उन्होंने मुझे request की कि आप arbitration में मुझे assist करें. Then I started assisting Salim Akhtar साहब as well. Senator Iqbal Haider साहब मरहूम बड़े senior counsel थे, उनको भी काफ़ी cases में assist करने का मौका मिला. So this is how I got from one place to other. And in 2019 I was called as additional Prosecutor General NAB headquarters at Islamabad. 3 years I spent there. Or 2022 में overnight I was informed that I have been appointed as Advocate General Sindh. So I suddenly came here and I started serving here as the AG Sindh for the government of Sindh. So this is my career story. And the office of the Advocate General Sindh is a constitutional post under Article 140 of the Constitution. और उसमें the Advocate General's office is required to give opinions to different departments of the government of Sindh, and also to us to represent them in all courts all over Pakistan, which includes the Honorable Supreme Court and the High Courts and the High Court of Sindh primarily. And we have more than 80 law officers here in our office, posted in Karachi and some posted in Larkana, Hyderabad, Sakhar as well. And we have a staff of 300 plus, if I'm not wrong. And it's a huge setup, alhamdulillah. It's been more than 1.5 years. We are trying to represent the government of Sindh at the best level we can. And alhamdulillah, the recent decision of the Bahria town case 3 days ago, so that has been a huge achievement for not only for us, not only for government of Sindh, but for the people of Sindh, that a sum of rupees 26 billion has been ordered to be released to the government of Sindh, which will obviously be utilized on various projects of the government. So the public is going to benefit out of it. So this was the basic initial.
Okay, sir. So I actually want to ask that what were the most challenging phases in your career? The most challenging that you thought were mushkil the?
Today was the most challenging day. Yesterday was more challenging than day before yesterday, and this is the story here. If you are an active lawyer, if you are committed to your work, whichever field you are, you be a doctor or surgeon or lawyer or technician or engineer, every day is a challenge, a new challenge, and you never know what's going to happen after 2 hours. You may be called suddenly to the Supreme Court or before the High Court, some judge, or to the Chief Minister's house, or this is the story here. So every day, life is hectic, work is extremely difficult, and we need actually, we have not worked on systems actually.
Yes.
The systems which are on paper are practically not available. So that's creating problems actually. The kind of staff, the kind of law officers, the kind of assistants from departments, the kind of things which we are expecting and which should be there in place are not in place actually. So that's creating more of a hurdle every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
So sir, how do you think that we can overcome these hurdles? How do you think we should overcome these?
Again, say the same thing, that we need to improve our systems actually. There are, for example, as far as judicial aspect is concerned, there are hundreds and hundreds of laws. There is no implementation, or there is less implementation, or there is inaccurate implementation. So we need to work on how to implement our laws, our rules, our systems, so that we get the desired result. We are not getting the result. We have everything on paper. We are not getting the result. So there is some fault in implementation on which we all need to work.
The road is broken somewhere.
Yes.
Sir, what do you think the initiatives that you can take as Advocate General to?
I joined on 29th June 2022, and it's been more than a year and a half now.
Sure.
There are multiple things which we have done here. I met the honorable judges of the High Court and the Supreme Court to know as to what are the difficulties they are actually facing, what are the deficiencies in our office. So on the judicial side, there is a different story. Then I met the ministers and the parliamentarians to understand their point of view, what they expect from the office of the AG. Their point of view was a bit different. They needed something different. and then I met the top bureaucrats of the government of Sindh, the learned chief secretary and the secretaries of all departments, the director generals, as much as I can. And I came to know that there are actually some rules which are to be framed or which are to be imposed, based on which there has to be a mechanism that the point of view of the government, the correct point of view, the original point of view of the government should be presented before the judges. So for that mechanism, we have developed some instructions to the law officers, certain rules you can call it, and then there are land matters in those issues. The primary difficulties are being faced in the land matters because land is a very lucrative item, and there are too many manipulations and the people in different stages in the department, before the in the AG office, then in the judicial side. So those have to be streamlined, and based on that I issued certain instructions that what are the law officers supposed to do in different circumstances, and how the case of the department is to be vetted and checked at the office of the Advocate General, and then only it can be presented before the courts. Earlier ये हो रहा था कि कोई आ रहा था और जवाब फाइल करके जाता था, which was inaccurate. The correct position of the government department was not being presented before the court. So अब उस system को भी हमने kill कर दिया. Now there has to be a vetting in the AG office, which is a very difficult task. And Chief Secretary also, the then Chief Secretary also told me कि आप ये assignment ले तो रहे हैं, but it's going to be difficult because इसके लिए मैन पावर भी चाहिए और अच्छा मैन पावर चाहिए, और उसके साथ एक्यूरेसी भी चाहिए, and all these difficulties, but we were ready to face everything. So we developed these rules. Not only that, कभी पहले law officers कभी जाकर based on some verbal instructions जाकर वो consent दे दिया करते थे, तो वो system भी हमने बिल्कुल kill कर दिया, उसको बिल्कुल stop कर दिया है. And now without any written instructions, no law officer can give a consent statement, a no objection in court. तो वो कोर्ट की डिफिकल्टीज को भी उसने रिड्यूस किया, और एजी ऑफिस की डिफिकल्टीज को भी उसने ओवरकम किया, और डिपार्टमेंट की डिफिकल्टीज को भी उसने रिड्यूस किया. तो हम इस तरह से, और इस तरह से बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो हमने उस इंस्ट्रक्शंस में दी हैं, आपको मैं उसकी कॉपी दे दूंगा. एंड दोज आर नाउ those instructions we have also submitted before the Honorable Supreme Court, the judges of the High Court, and those instructions are now being followed in letter and spirit by other advocate generals as well, because I circulated to other advocate generals as well. तो वो भी उससे guidance ले रहे हैं और वो भी उससे develop हो रहा है. So इस तरह का culture within, हमने एक networking की हुई है between the advocate generals of all provinces. तो उन्होंने हमसे आकर KPK के जो advocate general थे, आमिर साहब, यहाँ तशरीफ लाए थे, उनको हमने बताया जब, तो उन्होंने कहा कि ये तो हम वहाँ पर इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे. लाइकवाइज हमने बलूचिस्तान और पंजाब के एडवोकेट जनरल्स को भी हमने वो शेयर किया. तो वो इस तरह से हम इसको डेवलप करेंगे. सिस्टम डेवलप होगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली उसका रिजल्ट आना शुरू हो जाएगा.
So you see that since inception, Pakistan has been facing constitutional crisis. So what are your opinions on that, looking at the fact that recently we also faced constitutional crisis? So what are your opinions on that?
Thank you. कुछ चीज़ें मैं उसमें भूल गया, उसमें बताना, जो ये मैं अभी बता दूँ या बाद में आप कहें तो आपको बाद में और हमने क्या यहाँ पर एडवोकेट जनरल ऑफिस में और क्या क्या डेवलपमेंट्स की, वो मैं आपको फिर उसके बारे में शेयर कर दूंगा. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल इश्यूज पर जो है सबसे देखिए, बहुत इट्स अ वेरी वास्ट सब्जेक्ट टू डिस्कस. वी कैन स्पेंड डेज ऑन दिट. सो आई विल समराइज इट. एक्चुअली माय पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, ट्राइकोटोमी ऑफ पावर्स. देयर इज अ लेजिस्लेचर, there is an executive, there is a judiciary. Everyone has to remain within the domains of whatever has been provided in the constitution. Problems कभी-कभी ये start होते हैं कि एक part जो है वो दूसरे को overlap करता है, दूसरा part दूसरे को overlap करता है. Overlapping से confusion और complications create होते हैं. So executive has to remain within its boundaries. Likewise the other third part. ठीक है. तो ये इसका एक्चुअली रूट है. और जो हम अगर केसेस देखते हैं कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट में इस तरह के केसेस आते हैं, तो दैट्स डेवलपमेंट ऑफ लॉ. और आज नहीं तो कल, नहीं तो आफ्टर 10 years, आफ्टर 20 years ये लॉ डेवलप होना है. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, ऑब्वियसली इंटरप्रेट होना है, और कुछ डिफरेंट ओपिनियंस हो सकते हैं, तो वो जाके जुडिशियल फोरम पर ही वो डिसाइड होते हैं. तो आई डोंट थिंक इट्स अ नेगेटिव डेवलपमेंट. इट्स अ पॉजिटिव थिंग कि हम वहाँ जाकर और अपने आप को और इम्प्रूव कर देते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे एक लीगल क्वेश्चन आया कि हु इज़ गोइंग टू अनाउंस the date of elections.
Yes,
So
sir.
then Supreme Court interpreted it. इसी तरह से who is going to conduct the election, what are the phases of the elections. इसी तरह से different subjects पर different interpretations के लिए अगर कोर्ट जाते हैं, that is not a negative move. मेरे ख्याल से हम और develop होते हैं इससे.
Sir, would you like to debrief us on the fact that there have been many changes that have been done by the AG office? So, the introductions that the AG office has made.
Yeah, during last 1.5 years, we have introduced many changes which are for the first time introduced in any office of the Advocate General in Pakistan. Some of those which I remember are, number one, that we have formed a very highly dedicated team for vetting of replies before filing before the court, so that irresponsible or inaccurate responses are not filed before the court by the departments. Or number two, then for legislative reforms, we have also constituted a committee which assists the law department and sometimes even legislators for before any laws are passed in the province. Then thirdly, there is an internship program which we have introduced for the first time. All law colleges are welcome. Especially already the Zabist and Dennings law colleges have already availed this facility. Number of students have already conducted their internship here, and we have offered the same thing to the Hamdard Law College and all other law colleges जो पूरे कराची में है, be it Urdu Law College or any law college, SM Law College, हमने सबको ये offer किया, and we are welcoming students for that. उनके career में बहुत अच्छा achievement होता है. We then also present certificates to them जो कि उनको काफ़ी हेल्प करता है उनके करियर में. देन फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम हमने अंडर द इंफॉर्मेशन एक्ट, देयर वाज अ डायरेक्शन बाय द हाई कोर्ट, तो अंडर द इंफॉर्मेशन एक्ट हमने एक फैसिलिटेशन सेंटर भी बनाया, यहाँ पर डेस्क बनाया हमने यहाँ पर, जो जितने भी विजिटर्स आते हैं उनको फैसिलिटेट करता है. किसी को कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए तो उसमें हम देन वी हेल्प देम. एंड लाइकवाइज देन देयर वाज वी हैव फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम देन वी हैव इंट्रोड्यूस्ड system of appreciating our law officers and our staff. वो उनके सर्टिफिकेट्स हमने इनको इंट्रोड्यूस किए हैं. जो अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस करते हैं लॉ ऑफिसर्स, रिपोर्टेड जजमेंट्स होते हैं इन एनी वे विच बेनिफिट द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ सिंध, तो हम उनको अप्रिशिएट करने के लिए एक बाकायदा सेरेमनी, हमारे यहाँ 2-3 सेरेमनीज ऑलरेडी हो चुकी हैं इस तरह की 1 साल के अंदर. इसी तरह से स्टाफ को भी हम इसी तरह अप्रिशिएट करते हैं कि स्टाफ भी मोटिवेटेड रहे और उनको पॉजिटिविटी मिलती रहे, तो उनको भी अप्रिसिएशन सर्टिफिकेट्स हमने डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए हैं. Then lastly, there was a dispute between the Sindh Bar Council and the bar associations with respect to insurance of lawyers in the province of Sindh. जो कि budget, जो कि grant already मिल चुकी थी last year government of Sindh से, but then it was expiring and the grant was not being utilized properly. उसके dispute में मैंने the office of the Advocate General played a very important role. उसको हमने resolve करवाया, listening to and resolving the issues between Sindh Bar Council on the one end and the High Court Bar Association and Karachi Bar Association on the other hand. तो वो भी अलहमदिल्ला उसको भी हमने conclude किया positively और वो successful रहा.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, what do you have to say about the Lawyers' Welfare Bill? And how does it protect the interests of the lawyers?
Different bill is a positive move, obviously, but then again I'll come to the implementation part. ऐसा ना हो कि कोई law pass हो लेकिन उसको misuse कर लिया जाए, या ऐसा ना हो कि वो law pass हुआ है but उसको properly implement नहीं किया जा रहा है for the benefit of lawyers. So although I am a lawyer myself, but मैं ये भी कहूँगा कि उसको balance रखने की ज़रूरत है और उसकी implementation को मॉनिटर करने की ज़रूरत है, so that it is not improperly implemented or it is not misused against anyone. But at the same time, obviously, lawyers are a very highly dignified class of professionals, and they also perform things which are very risky in nature sometimes. तो उनकी प्रोटेक्शन ज़रूरी है. देन आपने देखा होगा इन पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविटीज़ ऑल्सो lawyers play a very significant role. पाकिस्तान की हिस्ट्री फॉर्म करने से लेकर एग्जिस्टेंस से लेकर आज तक आप देख लें तो almost every political movement has a very important component of lawyers included in its activities. तो उनकी प्रोटेक्शन भी ज़रूरी है. बट एट द सेम टाइम लॉ को बैलेंसली इम्प्लीमेंट करने की भी ज़रूरत है, तो उस एस्पेक्ट को भी देखना ज़रूरी है.
Sir, since during your whole life in the legal profession, when was the time that you felt that you needed to secure your life more?
You are talking about some physical threats?
Yes, exactly.
2012, I recall, since I was a civil lawyer practicing civil law, so generally I didn't encounter any such things. But जैसे वो 2012 में there was a wave of killings and a large number of lawyers were targeted in that phase. Unfortunately, many of our friends died. शहीद हुए काफ़ी सारे दोस्त हमारे. So then I was in 2012 I was informed that my name has been found in a list of some people who are being high-profile lawyers who are being targeted. So then I was informed, and I had to then look after other venues as well. So then I went to Islamabad, then I went to Dubai, I went to UK. But ultimately I decided that no, this is the place I'm going to live and I'm going to practice here. And so I kept my profile low during 3, 4, 5 years. But this is how it is. Everyone has faced it, and unfortunately we have to live with it.
Okay, sir. So, sir, I want to ask that since personality changes during the whole legal profession, so how do you think your personality changed and your family, and did your family take it as a good thing or otherwise?
Without whichever profession you are in, without support from your family, you are not able to excel.
Yes.
This is what I believe. That unless you have support from your parents, your spouse, your children, it's not possible for you to excel. So Alhamdulillah, I have been blessed with this blessing as well. And my wife, my children, my mother, my brothers, sisters, everyone supports me, Alhamdulillah, not only in this profession, but and personality changes actually with the kind of assignment you are dealing with. For example, when I was as a private lawyer, my personality was a bit different, more free and more conducive, you can say, as compared to when I joined NAB for 3 years. Then my personality changed because I was completely isolated, living single in Islamabad for 3 years and doing such a high profile work of such a high profile nature. And every person whose file was coming to me was one of the most renowned one of the most renowned politicians of the country. So it was very difficult, and it definitely changed my personality to some extent. But when I returned back to Karachi, joined this office as AGS Interview, now again I feel that I'm coming back to the same kind of personality which I had earlier.
Okay, sir. So looking at your life, will you tell us, and all the cases that you've dealt with, will you tell us that since there are opinions that are prevailing that justice is not for all, so what do you have to say about that?
Generally speaking, that is not correct. Individually, someone may be doing it.
Yes, sir.
And obviously there are always individual instances in every field, everywhere. But जैसे टेररिस्ट अटैक्स भी होते हैं, जैसे क्राइम होता है हमारी सिटी में, उसमें भी इंडिविजुअल इंसिडेंसेस डिफरेंट होते हैं और एक कलेक्टिव पॉलिसी जो हो रही होती है वो थोड़ी डिफरेंट होती है. सो आई वुड नॉट अग्री विद दिस नोशन. जस्टिस एक्चुअली, what has happened actually that we have not maintained or developed our judicial system in the same proportion in which the population was being increased. So हमारा system, judicial system, although theoretically बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत accurate है, and it has delivered. But the number of population that has increased and the number of judges which are the same old style, हमने पुराने उसमें हमने लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ जजेस जो हमने रखे हुए हैं. एक वन ऑफ द डिफिकल्टीज ये भी है कि वो उसको कोप नहीं कर पा रहे हैं हम. सो अगर एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में फॉर एग्जांपल पॉपुलेशन मिलियंस में चली गई है, नंबर ऑफ जजेस अभी भी उसमें उस डिस्ट्रिक्ट में काफ़ी कम है लोअर लेवल पर. इसी तरह से देन लाइकवाइज हाई कोर्ट में, एंड इसी तरह से देन सुप्रीम कोर्ट. सो ये बहुत डिटेल्ड डिबेट है जिसमें वो कहते हैं कि जी व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स जिसमें हम अपना जुडिशियल सिस्टम इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं. उसमें वन ऑफ द फैक्टर्स ये भी है. देन उसके साथ साथ हम लॉ भी अपने लॉज को भी डेवलप नहीं कर रहे हैं. देन उसके साथ साथ हमारा जो पेक्यूलियरी जुरिसडिक्शन वाला इशू है कि अनलिमिटेड जुरिसडिक्शन अदरवाइज इन एंटायर पाकिस्तान, बट इन कराची द फॉर्मूला इज़ डिफरेंट कि सर्टन अमाउंट के बाद जो है वो द नॉर्मल सिविल सूट्स आर बीइंग डेल्ट विद बाय हाई कोर्ट. वो भी इशू ऑन विच देयर इज़ रिसेंटली अ जजमेंट गिवन बाय द मिस्टर जस्टिस यूसुफ सईद एंड द देन चीफ जस्टिस सिंध हाई कोर्ट. तो इस तरह से इसके मल्टीपल फैक्टर्स हैं. तो अगर हम उन चीज़ों को इम्प्रूव कर दें विद पैसेज ऑफ टाइम तो ऑब्वियसली हम उसको कोप कर लेंगे. इतना बड़ा जुडिशल इशू नहीं रहेगा वो कि वो हैंडलिंग नहीं हो रही है, बैकलॉग बहुत बढ़ गया है, ये हो गया है. तो आई डोंट थिंक कि वो इशू रहेगा, बट वी नीड टू टाइमली एड्रेस दोज थिंग्स and resolve it and keep going.
Okay, sir. So, since cyber crimes are on the rise, so how do you think that we can protect our society from this kind of evil?
देखिए, न्यू फिनोमिनाज आते हैं. साइबर क्राइम भी एक फिनोमिना है जो आया है. आई वुड अगेन से दैट टाइमली अटेंड अगर हम करें उन चीज़ों को तो वो टाइमली रिजॉल्व हो जाती है, मैनेज हो जाती है. अगर हम उसको छोड़ देंगे तो फिर वो एक छोटा सा फ्लू जो है वो होते होते फिर आगे जाके टीबी की सूरत इख्तियार करेगा और फिर वो कैंसर बन जाएगा. तो इट्स लेट इफ़ वी अटेंड टू दोज थिंग्स, इफ़ वी डोंट अटेंड टू दोज थिंग्स टाइमली. तो साइबर क्राइम का भी सेम है कि FIA का जो साइबर क्राइम सेल है वो उसको अच्छी तरह अटेंड कर रहा है. दिस इज़ व्हाट आई हैव हर्ड एंड दैट इज़ द ओनली फोरम आई थिंक जो उसको प्रॉपरली उसको डील कर रहा है. उन्होंने अपनी वेबसाइट्स भी दे दी हैं, कंप्लेंट रजिस्टर वो सिस्टम भी है उनके पास और सारा वो कर रहे हैं. तो व्हेन आई वाज इन सुप्रीम कोर्ट इन इस्लामाबाद ड्यूरिंग 3 years तो मैं देख रहा होता था कि डेली साइबर क्राइम के केसेस आते थे सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, वो अटेंड होते थे. हाँ, हाउएवर द क्वांटम ऑफ दीज थिंग्स वो बहुत इंक्रीज हो रहा है और होता रहेगा. उस क्वांटम को क्या हम सही तरह से केटर कर रहे हैं या नहीं, क्या हमने उतना अपना जो कहते हैं अपग्रेडेशन हमने किया है, मैन पावर है हमारे पास इतना, आर वी टैकलिंग इट और नॉट, वो देखने की ज़रूरत है.
Sir, in what ways can citizens help in the promotion of making the rule of law applicable?
Okay, देखिए, what we are actually expecting, everyone is expecting in the public is that it is for the government to resolve all disputes between parties, be it private disputes or be it disputes between government and private parties. हमारे पास एक बहुत अच्छा अल्टरनेट सिस्टम है, अल्टरनेट डिस्प्यूट रेजोल्यूशन सिस्टम जो है जिसमें आर्बिट्रेशन है, मेडिएशन है. वी आर नॉट यूजिंग दोज वेन्यूज़ विच विल रिड्यूस द बर्डन ऑन जुडिशरी. अच्छा, उसको फिर हम स्टेट लेवल पर भी हम उसको प्रॉपरली इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं कर रहे हैं, ना प्रोपोगेट कर रहे हैं. अगर एक, दिस इज माई पर्सनल सजेशन दैट इफ प्राइवेट सॉर्ट ऑफ अ alternate dispute resolution mechanism is developed within limited societies. जैसे for example, I belong to a society which has a number of 50,000 people in Karachi living, और हमने अपना एक internal arbitration system बनाया हुआ है. Keeping in view the 1940 arbitration law, जो कि अब नया वाला 2023 में एक नया लॉ भी इंट्रोड्यूस हो रहा है. I'm sure आप सब देख रहे होंगे, इसको फॉलो कर रहे होंगे, जो आने वाला है, बिल मूव हुआ है और उसमें नया आने वाला है. So an arbitration system within communities, we are Khoja Isnasharis. So we are a community, small community. Likewise Boris हैं, likewise Ismailis हैं, likewise Surtis हैं, likewise बहुत सारी छोटी छोटी communities हैं. If within a community dispute resolution mechanism develop कर दिया जाए और उसको implement कर दिया जाए, तो those communities will not have to come to the courts and therefore the burden of courts will be reduced. हम अगर इस सिस्टम को थोड़ा डेवलप करें, थोड़ा इम्प्लीमेंट करें, मैंने इस पर एक बुक भी लिखी हुई है, डिस्प्यूट रेजोल्यूशन बिटवीन स्मॉलर कम्युनिटीज़. तो वो अगर मौका हुआ तो आपसे शेयर करेंगे कभी. बट उसमें वो सोल्यूशन है जो आप पूछ रहे हैं कि हम इंस्टेड ऑफ रिलाइंग ऑन फॉरेन एड, फॉरेन ग्रांट्स, और इतना सारा मैस हुआ है और इतना छोटे छोटे मिसलेनियस इश्यूज भी जो है वो कोर्ट्स में आ रहे हैं, कोर्ट्स आर बीइंग ओवरबर्डन्ड, तो उसको हम रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं. फैमिली डिस्प्यूट्स जो है वो भी उसी फोरम पर डिसाइड हो सकते हैं. हमने ऑलरेडी किए हैं, वो रिटन हमने डिसीजंस दिए हैं उस पर, एंड दोज आर इम्प्लीमेंटेड इन द कम्युनिटी टू वट एवर एक्सटेंट दे कैन बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड. तो वो हो रहा है ऑलरेडी हमारे पास, बट अदरवाइज जो है वो
change is taking place. Sir, as my information says me, you are volunteering as patron-in-chief of Sakina Hussain Foundation and legal advisor in ASF and UNDP, which are humanitarian in nature. So looking at that aspect of your life, what do you think or what are your thoughts on the pro bono cases?
Pro bono cases ko, I think our Sindh Bar Council is also dealing under its Bar Councils Act, and obviously that activity needs to be increased. again considering, keeping in view the quantum of population we have.
Yes, sir.
And the kind of relief people are actually looking for in the judicial system. तो उस पर प्रो बोनो को डेफिनेटली इंकरेज करने की ज़रूरत है. आई थिंक ग्रांट्स भी मिल रही है फेडरल लेवल पे भी, प्रोविंशियल लेवल पे भी, और बार काउंसिल के लेवल पर भी एक्टिविटीज़ हो रही है. तो उसको ऑब्वियसली उसको नंबर्स बढ़ाने की ज़रूरत है और उसको अच्छी तरह मॉनिटर करने की भी ज़रूरत है.
Sir, may I ask you how you deal with the political biasness in your career? Dealing with cases, how do you manage the political biasness as an
If
agent?
you are asking me as Advocate General Singh,
Yes, sir.
We try to maintain a very strict professional ethic and not to be influenced by any political pressure. Alhamdulillah, I'm making this statement very freely that since last 1.5 years, I have not been seriously influenced in any case by any political personality or any political quarter. So I have been blessed, alhamdulillah, that my reputation precedes me. So alhamdulillah, people are then reluctant to make cross their limits. So request तो हर जगह से आती है. आपके कोई relative हो चाहे, या आपके कोई friends हों, या आपके political connections हों, तो obviously कोई एक casual सी request तो आती है. But otherwise, alhamdulillah, we have tried to maintain a very strict ethic here.
Sir, it is kind of a personal question. As a female law student, I would like to ask for your advice and your opinion as to what is the best path for female lawyers.
I personally feel that female lawyers have a large number of difficulties which otherwise male lawyers don't face. For example, उनकी after the age graduation के बाद या उसके करीब, then they have to get married.
Yes, sir.
And once they have to get married, then they have to also look after their family as well, and also keep in line with with their spouse, with their in-laws. तो वो difficulty जो है वो luckily male lawyers को बहुत कम होती है. तो ये difficulty की वजह से I have seen that, I have noticed that a large number of female lawyers then quit their practice. या वो law student बनती है, but they are not able to join practice. तो ये एक difficulty है which obviously social issue है और वो genuine भी है. और maternal जो attention चाहिए होती है बच्चों को, वो भी ज़रूरी है obviously. तो ये इसको बैलेंस करना फीमेल लॉयर्स के लिए काफ़ी डिफ़िकल्टी होती है इसमें. सेकेंडली, जो फीमेल लॉयर्स आती हैं वो मच मोर टैलेंटेड देन मेल लॉयर्स, आई वुड से, एंड दे नॉर्मली join some companies, some multinational companies or some private companies as law officers. वहाँ पर एक्सेल करती हैं वो. काफ़ी सारी फ्रेंड्स हैं हमारी जो कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज हैं काफ़ी सारी लार्ज कंपनीज में वो हैं. देन मोस्ट ऑफ द फीमेल लॉयर्स जॉइन जुडिशरी. तो वो नीचे जुडिशल लेवल पर जुडिशल मैजिस्ट्रेट्स एंड सिविल जजेस एंड फैमिली जजेस, एंड उसमें देयर इज़ अ लार्ज नंबर ऑफ फीमेल लॉयर्स हु हैव नाउ जॉइंड एज जजेस. वो एक बहुत अच्छा वो है. बट प्रैक्टिकली स्पीकिंग एज ऑफ टुडे आप अगर सिंध हाई कोर्ट में देखें कि प्रोमिनेंट फीमेल लॉयर्स कितनी हैं, बहुत ही एक्सेल किया और जिन्होंने तो बहुत लिमिटेड हैं. मतलब आई कैन काउंट ऑन फिंगर्स, 10 से ज़्यादा नहीं होंगी मेरे हिसाब से. प्लस मैं आपको एक और बात बताऊँ, आई हैव प्रैक्टिस इन ऑलमोस्ट एवरीवेयर इन पाकिस्तान. I have appeared almost every court in Pakistan. I find that Karachi is the most conducive place for female lawyers to practice. तो उनको यहाँ ज़्यादा opportunity है कराची में. यहाँ का atmosphere बहुत helpful है. अच्छा, फिर यहाँ पर options भी बहुत ज़्यादा हैं. तो इसलिए मेरे ख्याल से जो है वो कराची is the best place for female lawyers to practice. But ये culture actually develop होना चाहिए other provinces में भी, other cities में भी.
So, do you think, sir, that it is still a very male-dominant career, or has it changed over years?
It has changed over years. Definitely changed over years. मुझे याद है when I started practice 1995, 96. तो उस वक्त फीमेल लॉयर्स की जो नंबर्स थे वो काफ़ी कम थे. अब आप वी आर स्टैंडिंग इन 2023 और आप देखें मेजॉरिटी आपको फीमेल लॉयर्स नजर आएंगे. जो वोटिंग के वक्त भी आप देख रहे होंगे, अभी रिसेंटली जो इलेक्शन हुआ है आपने देखा होगा कि फीमेल लॉयर्स की बहुत एक्टिविटी है उसमें. तो और नीचे लोअर जुडिशरी में आप देखिए, जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट जुडिशरी में आप देखिए फीमेल लॉयर्स बहुत आपको नजर आएंगी. आप कंपनीज, बैंक्स, उनमें आप चेक कीजिए फीमेल लॉयर्स आपको बहुत नजर आएंगी. तो डेफिनेटली द एटमॉस्फेयर हैज चेंज. लाइकवाइज दूसरी सिटीज़ में भी मैंने देखा, लाहौर में, इस्लामाबाद में, कोयटा में, केपीके में बहुत ज़्यादा फीमेल लॉयर्स अब आ रही हैं इस प्रोफेशन में.
Sir, as people say that behind every successful person, there's a gentle hand. What are your thoughts on this keeping in view your success?
Seems true because as I already said that without support from your family, we are not able to excel in our profession.
Yes, sir.
और वो बहुत difficulties create करता है because now अगर आपको family front पे भी struggle करनी पड़ रही है और आपको यहाँ भी struggle करनी पड़ रही है professional front पे भी, तो difficulty होती है, तो obviously ऐसा है. But मैंने ये भी सुना है कि वो females only put their hand behind a successful man.
Since your journey has been very inspirational for me, so it has been very inspirational. Sir, what is that one message that you would like to give to the young lawyers who can benefit from your whole career journey?
Hard work. No shortcut. There is no shortcut, I'm telling you. Hard work every day, every hour, every project, every assignment, hard work. If you are thinking of shortcuts, then मैं वहाँ से पर्ची लेकर आ जाऊँगा, मैं उसको कह दूँगा, मैं उसको फ़ोन करवा दूँगा, मैं उसको ये कर दूँगा, जज से कोई कांटेक्ट करने की कोशिश करूँगा, सामने वाले लॉयर को मैं यूँ कर दूँगा, नहीं मैं यूँ कैजुअल, आई एम वेस्टिंग माई टाइम ऑन अदर थिंग्स, नॉट putting my effort, the required effort on my assignment. This is not going to happen. This is not going to take you to good place. So you are
Hard work.
Hard work is the one word. Hard work is the one word, I'm telling you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.